All right. It's me, Sean in person, here, along with Nate, your boy.
Woo!
And King Nana.
What up?
Now, as usual, we had big plans for today. We had it was supposed to be a full house. It was supposed to be
so what happened?
about 8 of us. And then
out?
I don't know what happened. We lost Blockhead. He's going out and having lunch with someone.
Yeah, well, food kind of overrides a lot
Yeah.
of situations sometimes.
String Bean apparently came in late, so he's got to
Handsome
work
Shrek.
through. No idea where he's MIA
Okay.
right now.
Handsome
And,
Shrek is MIA.
Yeah, Jazzy Pickle, no idea.
Oh, well, the
And,
show must go on.
It must go on.
The
So
show must definitely go on.
So you're here with the brothers. You got all brothers.
What's going on, people? What's going on, people?
Change my lingo up a little bit.
Yeah. We can just get crazy now.
Yeah, get crunk.
So what's the topic for today?
I don't know. We have to figure it out. I guess Nature Boy did have an idea about talking about Christmas.
Like, how do you feel about Christmas? Is it a stressful time for you, or is it a joyful time for you? Or are you relaxed?
I'll say this. During Christmas, when I open my bank app
Right.
and I see a lot of dollars in, I'm happy.
Okay.
If there's less dollars in, I'm stressed.
So,
Because now, do I say no to my wife when I gotta buy stuff for my kid?
right.
Or do I put out a credit card and now that becomes a debt just to make the family happy?
And I think
It is a dilemma.
I think that's
It is.
a lot of what we all go through during Christmas time, because finance-wise, it can be a burden to some people, and the stress that it puts on people who may not be able to reach the goals or things that some of the people in their family may want as gifts and things like that. So I think for me, I'm sort of like King Nana. If you don't show me bills and receipts and things like that,
That it's all good.
it's all good. It's beautiful. It's when you actually start taking note of what you're actually spending,
Right.
and is it worth that? And I guess if the people you're spending on, are they worth that to spend your money on? It's kind of tricky.
Besides, if I haven't heard from you in the last month, call, text, nothing. I ain't heard from you in the last month. You get nothing from me. Because there's no point.
What if it's your 5-year-old nephew who you haven't heard from in, reason
That's up to the
being?
parent.
Oh,
It needs to holler at me.
Because
If you go
Well,
on my...
do you go that far? Do you do a lot for people that aren't in your house, or do you do a lot for your
For me,
nephews,
I have
your
like
nieces?
one niece,
okay,
and I have a cousin, another niece, just a few. It's Christmas time. Buy some stuff for kids. Normally, I buy clothing for kids.
Right.
So I don't do the whole toys because I've been buying toys, and I go to my cousin's house, I go to my brother's house, and the toys are just sitting there,
Right.
collecting dust.
Right.
Same thing with my son. My wife buys toys and toys and toys, thinking he's going to learn and he's growing fast, and he would rather be on the iPad
Right.
scrolling to go to YouTube.
right.
This boy's not even 2. But
And he's
knows,
already into YouTube?
he knows how to open my iPad, scroll through it,
A damn genius over here.
go to YouTube, and he keeps playing videos on videos on videos.
So it
Right.
sounds like it's a gift you guys are going to be getting him pretty soon.
And I'm trying to
iPhone
put him off,
at
Right.
2.
like screen time and
Right.
whatnot.
Right.
But then he gets in his feelings and he's nagging. I'm like, man, I don't even have time for you. You can cry all you want.
Just let him
So
cry
what
it out.
about you and your household? How is it during Christmas? What is it? What's the
We're
atmosphere
finally
like?
starting to get to the point where we don't go ape shit.
Okay.
Now, my wife is huge into this time of year, huge into Christmas, huge into making the kids happy and getting them a whole bunch of things so
Right.
that they're happy, and there's tons of gifts under the tree and all this stuff. But slowly but surely, we're getting to the point where we're getting away from that, and we're getting into just getting them, a few things here, a few things there.
Yeah, how do they feel about that? How do the kids feel about that?
I think
Do they always
I
get their
think
big
they
ticket
don't
item?
No,
Okay.
no, because kind of like you, my little guy's 8, and he keeps asking for
Yeah.
a cell phone.
Right.
Which, why he needs a cell phone, it's the most ridiculous thing. I have no idea.
Why? Could you
I
tell
think
us
it's
why?
the same deal, just to play,
Oh,
play
okay.
games
Just to
or
play games.
or get on YouTube. So it's not a, he wouldn't
But
be
he didn't
using it
call
to
his
make
boo.
calls.
He ain't
Yeah,
call
right,
his
right.
boo.
He
Okay.
ain't calling nobody.
And you never know.
But yeah, but we typically go through. They, of course, they make their list, and the lists are always 40 items deep, and we go through and we pick and choose. Okay, all right. So which one of these, which kind of like you said, which one of these are they going to be still into on
Right.
January 25th?
Right.
Or would
Right.
they be playing with boxes? Or would they be asking us for something else? You know what I mean? That type of thing. But one thing that I find interesting that I actually did hear on the radio this morning, this thing they said, when it comes to kids, get them 4 things.
Oh.
And 4 things only. All right? And here are the 4 things. 1 thing they want, 1 thing they need, 1 thing they wear, and 1 thing they read. Now, I thought that was quite interesting because
That's a lot.
it's only 4 things, though.
Still a lot.
Depending on how you do it.
Give them what they need.
Well, I got.
That's it?
Ours is sort of like that too. 2 items, both is what you want and what you need.
Mhm.
And normally those 2 items is okay. You needed some underwear, and you will want to shut your mouth. when you go- so that's how my household.
That's how it
worked.
works.
Yeah, it was like you take it or leave it, buddy.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that's how mine was as well. So
My thing
I
is
know
with
it. I
kids,
know it well.
They keep coming out with all these toys and video games and whatnot. And after a month or 2, they don't want to touch them anymore.
Right, they're on to the next
But
thing.
it's so expensive to get all these things. And you're like, wait, I bought you this thing, and you're going to tell me, it's out of fashion. Nobody's using it anymore. Come on, man.
Do you-
I mean, I did the same thing when I was a kid.
Yeah,
But
we all
growing
did.
up, and I understand, like, I was being an asswipe.
Yeah, as a kid, your perception is totally different because
probably a
every
jerk.
toy commercial came on, I wanted.
Yes,
Every commercial.
gotta have
I mean,
it.
oh my God.
Yes.
So marketing played a big part. They know how to definitely put a spin on that and play
Mhm.
with the kids' minds and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just like going to the grocery store. You see all, just looking at cereal boxes and as a kid.
I'm
Stick
strict.
to the
Yeah,
outside.
listen, I'm strict when I go to the grocery store.
Oh yeah.
We make a list. And we go, listen, we're going to this aisle, this aisle, this aisle.
Okay.
We'll look nowhere else.
Okay.
Because you can end up buying a whole lot of
Oh, yeah.
crap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my household, we don't buy a lot of cereal.
Mm-hmm.
Because, honestly, when I wake up in the morning, I'm trying to get to work. I'm not going to get time to eat and try and get my son together, take him to daycare. I have no time. So what's the point of buying cereal?
Now, do everyone put up a tree in your house?
Yes.
In your house. What about you?
I'm not going to put a tree up this year because I'm not going to be around.
Now, do you-
I'm out for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Bup, bup, bup.
You're going to
Where you
Ghana,
going?
huh?
Yeah.
You going home?
All
I'm
right.
going on for the holidays.
Let's all say a prayer. Hope he gets back into the country.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You got
I
all
don't
your-
change your mind when I get to the airport. You're like, okay.
You got all your IDs and all your
Yeah.
paperwork
Lucy, you've
squared
been out
away.
for 2 weeks, as a policy, we can't let you in because Trump says so. What the hell?
So, what do you prefer, real tree or artificial tree?
The last time I went for a real tree, and afterwards I had to dispose of it, so I was kind of annoyed. Because the plan was for me and my wife to, help me out, blah, blah, blah. But her help was, I sit back and tell you what to do.
Right. It's typically how it works.
It's typical how it works.
Okay, mine's the opposite because we always get an artificial tree. Well, we had live trees in the past, but it's just too much. It's
Messy.
tedious work.
It's a
right?
hassle, yeah.
Needles falling. You got to worry about
You got
catching on fire, things like that.
a tree catching on fire, god damn.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
it can
Oh,
dry
that's
out.
it's a
You
big
don't-
deal,
You
yeah.
can dry out in your lights, or
And the
you have
lights on
short
there.
in your light or anything.
Wait,
That's-
what?
Lot of
Well,
fire,
well,
house
well, we
fires.
know now that King Nana did not have
Wow.
his tree in water
At all.
at
Oh,
all.
I always pour water in it, but damn.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
lot of during Christmas time, you'll see a lot of house fires occur.
Is it close to like the fireplace or something?
No, it's
No,
just
from the
again
lights.
from,
Dries
from
out.
drying out,
Mhm.
and you could have a shortage in your lights or something that's on the tree that can
Yeah.
cause a spark.
Oh, you talking? Oh, the license. I
Yeah.
didn't even think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So things like that.
So
You
again,
need to change your light every year, for real, for real. Don't
Okay.
use the same thing. They're
you have to
cheap.
test
I
them.
just found it
Yeah.
easier.
Make sure they're
You can't
correct.
test them. Testing them is you're always gonna find out one little bulb.
Oh, you know what? We are talking to an electrical engineer, so we probably should listen to him.
Well, apparently he wasn't sure
Well,
about,
that-
you know what I mean,
well,
Because I was-
electrical, so he don't know nothing
how it
about
catch fire.
I wasn't even
horticulture.
thinking of, it's gonna dry out and there's gonna be a short in your cable.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the cables, honestly, people just wrap up the cables, throw it in the box. The cable goes through all the wear and tear. People don't take their time to go through and test every light because it's tedious. Come on.
So your wife make you decorate the tree?
Oh, she buys the decorations. Tells me where to put them.
Okay.
So
I don't
still
want
just
to
telling
argue,
them.
so I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
My only job is, that's funny, you're learning. You're learning. I like that because
I don't
I was pretty
ask much.
defiant at one point when it came to decorating, and I'm pretty much still am. We have a rule, so all I do is pull the tree out of the closet. Once the tree is out of the closet, everything else is on her.
That's it. That's the
That's
extent of
it.
your
That's
job.
it. Uh-oh,
Well, looky here, looky here.
Sorry I'm late.
New girl Jess is in.
Hey, Jeff.
We are talking Christmas.
Christmas.
We're talking Christmas.
Yeah, how is Christmas for you? Is it a stressful time? Is it just a wonderful, enjoyable time? I mean, how do you feel? Because a lot of times people is stressed because of the pressure and the stress that they have to go out and buy this and that, and you know sometimes your finances don't have it, but you're looking at people who is expecting things from you, and so how do you feel about Christmas?
Okay, I'm gonna be the bah humbug. For every year for the last probably 2 decades, have hated Christmas.
Wow.
Damn.
Really?
Jesus.
Yes.
God forgive
And
us.
why is that?
Well, typically in my past life, I had to do everything, which a lot of wives have to do. So whatever. He also worked on Christmas Eve, which is the big day for my family. We celebrate Christmas every Christmas Eve, and then we would celebrate it for him on Christmas Day. It was a money thing, and as your kids get older, their presents are more expensive.
Right?
And so I always worried about that. But then this year, I've had kind of a change of heart. It's funny because I told you guys on one of the other episodes that my sister and I were in a Facebook war about Christmas, which has subsided down. So we're
Oh, good.
it's
That's
other
good to hear.
beans now.
Our arms are down. War is over.
But my family generally loves Christmas, and my sister specifically.
Mhm.
But my sisters will start shopping for gifts in like August,
Okay.
July.
So they plan.
So
That's good.
yes,
Is that like
it's
an
good.
expectation that they know, Jesse's gonna buy me something,
So I gotta get her something.
so I gotta get it something.
Because we don't exchange gifts because we'd rather spend the money on our kids, and then we
I like
would
that.
we originally would buy gifts for the nieces and nephews, but then there got to be a bunch of them.
Right.
I think when we got to like 8 or 9, we then had the kids exchange names. So because my sisters have 5 and 4 kids, so they have to buy 5 and 4 presents. I have 2.
Right.
I only have to buy 2.
Right.
So it started to get expensive to buy every single one a gift. So we did a name exchange, and now we're at 17. And so we
Goodness
just
gracious.
yes, we go to my parents. My parents very generously get all the kids something, and so they get something on Christmas Eve. But we generally don't exchange gifts with each other because, like I said, none of us has a ton of money.
Right.
And so we would rather put that towards our kids to make sure that they have a good Christmas. And we all love each other. So, I mean, we're hugging. Christmas Eve is a big deal. My mom bakes cookies. She does cream of crab and regular crab soup.
Oh, cream of crab. Huh?
And the little,
Cream crab.
I had to come
the
through.
hot dog rolls.
Pig,
And
like-
the pig in a blanket, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, it's a good day. It's a fun day.
But do you know what to get the kids?
My kids or,
Your kids.
do
Do you ask them what they want for Christmas?
I do ask them, and I asked them this year, and they both said, I don't know. And that's been their response for about the last probably 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, they'll throw in something. But my kids are extremely blessed, and they're spoiled and not in a bratty way.
Yep.
But they have 2 whole houses with 4 groups of parent or grandparents because we're divorced. My kids want for nothing.
This is where I have a problem
They-
with when it comes to kids buying for kids. and I'm speaking of like toddlers and who can barely speak and all this, and you go out
They get what
and
they
buy
get in my house.
50 boxes of toys, and they end up just playing with the box, and there's a child out here who or parents can't afford one toy, you know, that a kid is expecting for Christmas, which stresses and put the pressure on them. So I think some parents may be overthinking. I know you want to get your kids what they want, what they never, you know, what you never had, and you want them to have a better Christmas and things like that. I get it, but again, like I had my niece who was like a toddler infant, and I mean tons of toys. Like she has no interest in any of them. It's
Yeah,
like
right.
no interest.
They
I
love
think
the
it's more
box.
so
Love the boxes.
it's more so for the parents' gratification opposed to the child.
Mhm.
So I always kind of frown upon that at times. I mean, every situation is different, but
Definitely,
The
sometimes
other-
you can get carried away.
for
And the
sure.
other thing with that is you want your kids to still earn things.
Yes.
You want them to know what it's like to save money and buy something. So there's that aspect too. So this year I have so much to be thankful for. And I was
This
really
podcast being number one, of course.
Yes. I really honestly prayed this year that my heart would be softened to it and that I would be able to enjoy it. We're moving in a month from Christmas Eve
Oh yeah.
in a house that we built.
That's right. Congratulations.
Well, we didn't physically build it, but
Right.
We got
Right.
it.
Right.
We got
it's
it.
a real
Right.
house. I have in my life right now more than a good amount of people have. And so I feel like I just need to be, and I've been very thankful lately. And I feel very blessed lately. And so I just want to enjoy it and not be bah humbug
Well,
because my
like
kids,
you,
it
though.
affects my kids sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you know,
So-
you're deserving. People don't know the road you came from to get to the point where you're at, where you should be able to enjoy your spoils of your struggles or whatever it is that you know your background. Because I mean, you didn't always have
No.
a house built from scratch and
No.
had this and that and that. So
No.
it's for some people. I really
And I've worked really hard.
Right. So I think some people that are really deserving, and it's your time and it's your season, and you're supposed to have this stuff. You know what I mean? Although it's you know, I just think, again, everybody's struggles are different, and
Yes.
some people don't deserve certain things, and some people do, and you know, sometimes it's vice versa. But knowing your story, I think you're very deserving of the things you have now and what you went through to obtain.
Get to this
point.
place.
Yes.
It was a battle, but I
Yeah,
fought it. And look,
that's right.
it's a testament to
Winner.
other people. It's a testament to keep fighting.
Yes.
Keep fighting the
Absolutely.
battle.
And in case you guys didn't notice this, if you ever have an adult moment or anything while you're here, just give out the best hugs. Just saying. Just saying. Just
Yes.
saying.
Hugs are important for
They
people.
are.
They are.
They are.
They are. So, yeah.
So, would you guys celebrate Christmas in Ghana?
Yes. For us, Christmas is religious.
Right.
That's the whole point. It's based on religion.
Mm.
So on Christmas Day, people go to church, and after church, they make merry, they go home, they make food, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
For us, Christmas is all about religion.
Right. And
Right.
and it's started that way here, I think.
I
But
think
it
so, but at some
kinda-
point, it just went
Yeah, it went
all over the place.
Went
all over the
commercial.
place. Right.
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 Definitely.
Some people don't celebrate
It went
Christmas.
commercial. Right.
But now it's become commercialized, like, once it's Christmas, it's as if you have to get something
Right.
for somebody.
That's the pressure.
You know, and that's a lot of pressure on
That's a
the
lot of
parents,
pressure.
especially growing up. And the last thing you want to be is going to a new year with more debt.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
That's
And
a valid point.
people,
Absolutely.
people don't look at that. You know, people just enjoy the moment and later go back into their holes and struggle.
Mhm.
Right.
But that is the problem.
That's a problem.
Absolutely is.
I mean,
And
I
people
haven't
like-
lived there for long, but I'm telling you, a lot of Americans are in debt. They're just
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
And
that
Well, the whole country is
Like-
that.
True.
Right, the whole
Yeah,
country's
if you want to go, yeah.
But sometimes I'll go to Costco, right? And I'm looking at people, I'm like, all right, it's either y'all making so much more money than I'm making for you to have your, you know,
2 cards.
2 carts and it's filled up. And I'm like, wait, how many people live in your family?
Well, they got a saying too:
Hey,
"Fake
listen.
it till you make it."
And they're buying perishable stuff.
Mm,
I'm like, this makes no sense to me.
yeah.
You have one mom and a couple of kids, and they have all these biscuits, they have all these
Mhm.
drinks. I'm like, wait, are you trying to kill the kids?
Maybe it's a month's supply. Maybe they have a freezer
Yeah.
at home.
Still,
Maybe they.
still, you're buying. Listen, we all know the foods in the supermarkets are not the best. Right? A lot of sugars. They throw a lot of chemicals and stuff. Like, I'm very cautious of the stuff we eat in the house.
Right.
Most of the time, we like to cook ourselves. The things we
ingredients,
buy,
always.
in the supermarkets, we're kind of cautious. So when I see people go outside and they're always eating outside and buying stuff, I'm like, listen, are you trying to kill yourself plus your kids? Because I feel like some people are like, I work so hard, I get tired, let's just go out and eat. I'm like, you just,
I used
That's
to do
a
that
lot
way
of
as well.
money.
Yeah.
Just
that is a lot
Yeah.
of money. Because yesterday my
It
wife
is.
was like, I'm tired, let's just buy food from outside.
same
Coming
with
out,
my
and they're
wife.
like $30. I'm like, wait, did I just spend $30 on food for
Same,
these two of us?
same here.
It kind of goes both ways though, because like you were saying, people who buy perishable foods, if you buy the perishable foods and take them home, and then you don't eat them, and you end up throwing it away. It's the same. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but if you cook, then you're kind of cautious because I'm cooking for this amount of people. Because you save a lot when you cook.
Absolutely.
You save a lot of money.
You can save a lot.
Absolutely.
Because when I started working here, I was always coming out buying food. And I was like, wait, am I actually spending like $60 a week just to get myself lunch?
Mm-hmm.
When that $60 could actually make me food to cover the whole month.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
It's a different mindset.
It is.
What if you hadn't changed that mindset? You'd still be spending that $60 a week.
I'd still be
It's a
spending
mindset, my friend.
When people haven't changed.
I
love
buy
it.
lunch every day. I try bringing my lunch sometimes. I'm so picky. So a lot of foods I just don't eat. So and normally I don't like leftovers. I can't eat leftovers.
I don't eat leftovers either.
I'm not a leftover
I know it's
kinda
bad,
guy.
but I can't.
And again, I was in the same predicament you were in. Like, why am I spending all this money? And I realized, like, a lot of times I say to myself, Nate, you work. I'm not going to rob from myself. If I want something, I work hard. I'm going to get it. I'm just not going to do it. I had to train myself to, like, because, again, it's like something I want. I work every day hard, every day of my life. But at the end of my life, I'm going to regret, like, damn, I should have got the steak and cheese I really wanted.
That's right.
Damn, I wanted to try that steak and cheese, and I never, because I thought it was too much. So I don't, and I had this discussion with my wife, too, because just like last night, we were hungry. And she came in, and she was frustrated from the mark training and all this. And normally she would cook something, and she was like, well, can you stop at the store? I'm like, I was tired, too. I'm like, I'm not stopping at the store. So I said, let me stop at Famous Dave's and just pick us up something. It was just the convenience, and
Right.
I'm like,
But some people do this.
that's not gonna have
every
my lights off because
Yeah, 'cause you did it that one time, yeah.
Some people do this every single day. My thing is, right, with the way, it's as if once you're in America, that is a normal thing. Now, where I'm coming from, we don't have that credit option. People who have that credit option are big businesses where the banks are like, you know what, I know your business, I can give you this credit line to work with. But America, everybody's entitled to a credit line. The banks don't even care how broke you are. They won't
Not
sort of.
everybody.
Well,
yeah,
sort of.
That's
Sort of.
not really.
That's not really.
As someone who struggled after a divorce to get back up there, I can tell you
But-
that's not really
But
accurate.
getting access to a credit card is not the hardest thing in America.
Getting access to a credit card?
Getting access to a credit card. It doesn't matter what the interest rate. I'm not talking about that.
Right.
Well,
Getting
I understand what you're
access
saying.
to a credit
Yes.
card is not the hardest thing.
It's an
in America.
application.
Anybody
Social
can
Security
get it.
number. Yeah.
Right.
Not anyone can get it though. You have to have good
No,
credit
he's-
to get
he's-
a
he's
credit
saying-
card.
he's saying-
not really.
he's
No,
saying
you
it's
just have
possible.
crazy interest rate.
You can have a
may
crazy
bad
interest rate.
credit,
The
but
point
if your
is-
interest
Hold
is
on,
like,
hold on. He's saying it's possible where it's not possible. Like, you can go and get an application for a credit card anywhere. So it's possible
Yes.
in the United States.
To get
Yes.
a credit card.
But
With that said,
Yes.
people have that in the back of their heads, like, you know what, I can always fall back on the credit card. Now, paying back that credit card is what people don't think.
which most people do during Christmas. Meaning
Right.
they go into depths, they max out the credit card,
max out the
and
credit
they
card.
smiling during Christmas, and when the fun is over and the bill comes in, the
Oh,
stress, now the stress is on.
And that's one thing
But
I wasn't used to until I came here. So me and my wife, I'm like, listen, we always need to put money aside just in case. Because my son was sick recently, right? And when you go to the urgent cares and whatnot, they're taking cash.
But you coming out of pocket.
They coming out of
Because
pocket.
of the health care. Your health care.
Healthcare, but
Right.
you're still gonna pay at some point.
Yeah, but
And the healthcare argument is a whole different ballgame. I'm sure I'm not even
That's
gonna
another
go-
podcast.
Right,
It's
right.
another podcast.
Okay.
But you must, to me, you must always have money somewhere
Yeah.
that you can dip into just in case.
Right.
Well, that's smart for you. That's
Right.
smart, and everyone should probably
Well,
do that.
but a lot
But
of
the people that
don't.
have the money to go out and eat every night, I mean, we can't really judge them. If they
No, I'm
had
not
the
judging
money
them,
and
but
that's
I'm
what
just
they
saying.
want,
I'm just
that's
saying.
their money. I mean,
That's right.
People still go out and buy foods on a credit card.
So
Unfortunately,
let's put it back into the realm of Christmas a little bit because we going, you know,
It's what
My
we
thing,
do,
is,
baby.
my
It's
thing
what
is,
we do.
my thing is, don't put yourself in debt just to please
Yeah.
people around you.
Correct.
People
At
around
Christmas
you
time.
have to be honest. You have to be honest with yourself and say, listen.
But what do you do when this little kid
Kids-
who works so hard in school and get A's and come to you and just say, "Mom, all I want is this," and it may cost maybe a little pricey.
you'll
and
see.
What do you do?
If your kid comes to you and like, Mom, I want the new Yeezys, and the new Yeezys are going for like $500.
Well,
I mean,
Exactly.
If I
that's
don't
right.
have them,
What?
and I'm not getting them for my
Right.
kids. I mean, I'm
But-
just
But
saying.
parents do that. Though.
Parents
You're right.
do that. They
You
put
do,
themselves
you're right.
and their kids. Listen, kids.
And they do that to a lot of undeserving kids.
Right.
Kids will
Just
grow up,
because.
they will forget, they will move on.
Yeah.
Don't say, I didn't get this for my kid is sad, blah, blah, blah. Even at some point, kids do understand. Kids see their parents and what their parents go through,
Right.
Right.
They know.
Kind of.
kind of. Unless your kid is like a proper a-hole and doesn't really
Well, no,
care.
I hide a lot. I keep a lot of that stuff away from my kids. I don't want them to worry about money or worry about if they need something and they're worried that I don't have the money to get it for them. They don't know any of my finances. They have no idea what I make, what I get, how much bills are.
But I think
don't.
a lot of the
Well, that's not for them to
Because
worry about.
because when I was younger, my parents struggled, and we knew about it, and so we worried, on top of them worrying.
Right. So it was just
And
a
I'm not
full
knocking
household
how my
order.
parents raised me or anything because I love them. I had a wonderful childhood, but it was something that I actively was aware of. And so when I did a sport in school, I would worry if I was going to be able to get the shoes that I needed because everyone wore the same shoes, or for cheerleading, the same thing. And I remember my brother helping me buy cheerleading shoes one of the years. And because he knew my parents didn't have the money and he knew I was worried about it. And I was working and just didn't make, I made $5 back
Right.
then, and that was minimum wage. And so, and they still took taxes out.
Right.
So I remember my brother helping me buy cheerleading shoes for high school. But I worried about money, so my kids don't, and it's not out of ignorance of them, or it's not out of them being spoiled or anything. I keep it from them so they don't have to worry about it. Because like I said, and like Nate, you guys know my story kind of too. I struggled. I struggled. Sometimes there was an eviction notice on my door. I'm not gonna lie. And I was a single mom, and I was doing the best I could, and I always paid it. We never got kicked out or anything, but I struggled, and I didn't want them to worry. We already had the divorce they were going through, and they had their own friend stuff going on, and the last thing I wanted them to worry about was money. And it's just recently that my daughter, who's 20, realized what those notices were on the door,
Really?
and she asked me about it.
Wow.
So just now at 20, she realizes that happened, and was really sad about it, and was really upset that she didn't know. And I was like, you didn't need to know. There was nothing you
Right.
could have done.
Right.
Something you could have
And-
done.
I remember,
So-
growing up, Christmas for me, like as a kid or teen, I never saw. I never saw myself like just elated and just happy as hell because I never really. My parents couldn't afford a lot of stuff, so we didn't get a lot of stuff, and we may have gotten. I remember getting our first video game system. It took us years and years to get it. We asked, and we finally get it. And we played the one game that came with it for the whole year.
Was it the Atari?
It was the Nintendo.
Nintendo. Good old days.
Yeah. So, for me, Christmas, what I have to do to get myself in the mood or whatever, for me to be able to spread some joy, and I don't go Christmas shopping or anything. My wife handles all that. I'm not. I would just hand out gift cards to everybody. That's my
Right.
thing. So, during that time, like, for me, I have to buy myself something first. Before any money go out to anybody else, Nate gotta buy himself something.
You work hard for your money.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I do, because I always think about my Christmases, and I never actually got the things that I wanted. So Nate go buy what he want for Christmas. It may be early or whatever, but I'm like, this is a Christmas gift for myself. Now go do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Go do your thing.
Yes. It was kind of like the same situation. So, single mom with 3 boys in Baltimore City. So just think about that for a second, right?
I love her.
We, bless her heart. That's why those cakes so damn good.
Yes,
when I bring
we
them
love
in.
her.
Baby love.
What we had every year at Christmas time, or all through the year, just constant, was love. And that's all we ever really wanted.
That's
was
awesome.
love.
That's awesome.
Now, she would go and get us the things that we needed.
Mhm.
So it would be underwear,
Shaw.
undershirts, and she'd wrap it up in the nicest package and put a nice bow on it with a little tag. Boy, and you come in and just all kinds of stuff under the tree. Ooh!
Right.
So you come running down the stairs with your little onesie on.
Footies.
Can't sleep.
And you grab that. Oh, and you open it. Oh, underwear. Yes.
That's
The
right.
Freedom of Limb, the tighty whitey joints. Not that,
Oh, yeah.
because back in those days they ain't had a box of briefs.
No.
Just them tighty whiteys. Oh, it was the best. The
So
absolute
you did
best.
enjoy it though?
Oh yes.
So I used to
Oh,
get
yes.
that every year as a kid and hated it.
Oh,
I'm
man.
talking, hated it. But the crazy part is now I love it.
Now you love it.
It's like, oh my god, I got
It's
a
like
abundance.
new.
I'm like, woohoo! Look at the color socks.
Yes.
Look at the t-shirt. Because I
Yes.
just like an abundance of like undergarments, like t-shirts and socks and all that.
It's the
I
things
love
you
it.
need.
Yeah.
Kind of the way
But
we talked about.
it took me till I'm an adult to
To appreciate it, yeah.
Yes. So for us, I remember one Christmas where my mom asked us for one thing that we wanted and one thing that we needed, and that's all we got that year. But because we got to pick the one thing we wanted, it was great. We were so poor. We had the same thing. It was socks and underwear and some clothes.
Yes.
It was stuff that you would need for the year
Yes.
more than stuff that you would want. We would get some stuff that we wanted in odd years.
Mhm.
But I don't ever remember a bad Christmas, ever.
Never.
That's awesome.
Never bad Christmas.
That's awesome.
I don't. So even having nothing, and it makes me appreciate things now so much more, but it also doesn't give value to material things.
Yes.
Like a car's just a car to me, and they're like, well, what if no, it's got insurance, and if not, I'll get another. I just, things don't, it's a house.
Now, do anybody
It could burn
do
or-
do anything for like the unfortunate? Like what me and my wife do every year is we like adopt the child
Mhm.
for Christmas.
Very nice.
And we just buy them tons of stuff, and it which takes the pressure off someone who can't afford it
Yes.
and stuff like that. So this is like I think my 5th year doing it. The first year I was a little hesitant, although because I'm still watching money. But then
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, really? Like, come on, look at you got a tree, you got this, you got that, and so I took the time to reflect and see like I don't need half this shit I have in here, and yet they don't have anything.
Mhm.
So doing that and the response we got from the family and stuff like that just made me feel like I done something, like
Mhm.
I contributed to, and so it's just been an occurring thing we've been doing now, which
That's
I
awesome.
make sure that I'm like, so what you get the kid? Like, what do you get her? Like, oh yeah, she's gonna love that, and so I feel gratification.
Yes,
from it. So,
yes. Doing putting some goodness in
Yeah,
the world.
yeah.
which we need a lot more of.
Yes,
to be
we
quite
do.
honest.
Yes, we do.
We do Project Angel Tree, where it's like you take a shoebox, so you can do either like a Tupperware container size or an actual shoebox, and you fill it with little stuff like toothbrush, toothpaste, like little games,
Mhm.
coloring stuff, colored pencils or like little books, and it gets shipped to
Oh, that's
underprivileged kids in other countries.
Oh wow.
And so we've done that with the kids, and it's fun to show them that we need to give to other people too who are less fortunate, and they don't get to buy a thing. When we go to shop for this, they don't get a thing. Not that my kids don't usually get stuff every trip anyway, but it's about the boxes and it's about the kids, and so that's been fun.
So you still have a little. How old is your youngest?
8.
Now, how do you feel, and how did he feel about Santa Claus?
How does he feel about
Does
it?
he believe in Santa Claus?
He still kind of, sorta
Okay.
does.
And
He does understand that mom and dad get some stuff too,
he
because
does?
that's what he
Okay.
gave the damn
Okay.
40-page list to.
okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But when we went to B&O Railroad for the Polar Express a couple weeks ago, and Santa was there and everything, and he still was kind of into that.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, he knows where the stuff's coming
No.
from.
What about you? Because
He
your
doesn't
kid-
know what the hell Santa
Right.
is.
Would you have him believing in Santa Claus?
I don't know. I don't know if you thought about it. Like, I don't know.
Right.
It depends on if he's even interested in Santa in the first place.
Well, most kids going to be. If he's
Well,
going to be Americanized.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Then he's
not
gonna
if the
be-
king has anything to say about this.
Right. Now, I don't know how you feel with Santa Claus taking all
You
your
know,
credit.
We'll see how that goes. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
I'll just
still
wait.
got time.
I still got time.
Because what is he, 2 or 1?
He's not even 2. He's gonna be 2 in March.
Okay.
For now, all he knows is if he sees your phone, he's gonna grab your finger. Like, this is what he does. He's gonna grab your finger,
To get access.
hold your phone, and like,
Yeah. That's how you
my
get
man,
in.
open the phone. That's what he does. He grab your finger, open the phone.
I need your
Once you
finger.
open the phone, he pushes your finger away.
I'm done with you now.
And he's gonna scroll through your phone,
That's great.
looking for that red play mark
Uh-huh.
on YouTube.
That's
And he's
fine.
gonna be scrolling through all your recent videos
Right.
just to see like a kid or something. Press play, plays for a while, skips through it, goes to another one.
That's hysterical.
That is hilarious.
That's what he does every
hysterical.
time. And like anytime somebody comes to visit, I'm like, don't let him see your phone. They're like, no, he's a kid. I'm like, all right. And he takes the phone, and he don't take it back. That's him. So I don't even know right now if are we still going to do toys? Are we going to do
Boxes.
electronics?
Get a bunch of boxes, and they love them.
He's way past the boxes now. He's like,
Okay.
he's
I
into
don't know, you'd
electronics.
be
Like
surprised.
he will look at a TV, look around for a remote, and start pressing the remote just to see a reaction. And I'm like,
He's a smarty.
Yeah, you got a
yesterday I
little
put,
genius on
Yeah.
you.
yesterday I put him
right.
in his playpen, right? And because he was all over the place, we were like, listen, we're tired. We put him in his playpen. He looks at us and just jumps out of the playpen.
Yeah.
He grabs the side
Thing
of it,
can't
comes
hold
out,
me.
and he comes back to me and he's like,
Prison break.
yeah, put me back
He's
in.
like, what?
Yeah. This is
What?
a game now.
And
Now we're
this-
having
What
fun.
mic drop?
Now it's a game to me,
What?
and I'm like, oh my god, like I didn't plan for all of this.
Aw.
So if you had to describe Christmas in one word, what would that word be
I think it's
for your family?
for my family. I think we're just grateful we made it through the year.
Jess?
Mine's love.
Same here, love, man.
Like there's so much love going on that
Yeah.
day. It's all love.
Yeah.
Okay, mine.
What about you?
Giving.
Yeah, that's
Giving,
good.
so. Oh, okay, cool.
I think initially they had plans to do like one of those, during Christmas, just go out and serve soup to the needy.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that before too.
Yeah, I was trying to do that.
That was awesome.
I can't do that this year, cuz
Because you're gone.
I'm gone.
And on that note, we'll be gone too. Tell them good night, Nature Boy.
Night at night. Woo!
Night, people. This is from Nana.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.